The Phoenix Hawk. For me, personally, it has an air of mysticism about it. The Phoenix Hawk lamb was the mystical reward at the end of the Crescent Hawk's inception. But whether or not you have a lamb version or the ground version doesn't matter. The Phoenix Hawk is one of the first mechs that you get that has some real bite to it with that large laser. It has just the right combination of range, mobility, and armor that it can threaten anything, even much larger mechs. Yet it's fast enough that it can hunt down fast, light mechs as well. Let's bring out the old TRO 3025 and find out what does it have about the Phoenix Hawk. Well, let's first check it out here, find out what page it's on, and kind of flip through to it. Let's get past these light mechs. That wasp, you'll notice it looks just like the Phoenix Hawk when we get to it. Because they're both Valkyries from Macross. Here's the Dugram mechs. I think I kind of passed it there somewhere. Because it's lighter than a Griffin. So let's go back. Oh, here it is. See, it's even got the same paint job as the Wasp. But there it is. And here's the, it's got quite a lot of text on its story. And here's the still shot of the specifications page. And also, in case you missed it, the still shot of the storyboard. Overview. The Phoenix Hawk is a common mech, a versatile model produced in the tens of thousands during the Star League era. Orgus Industries, a manufacturer of the similar Stinger and Wasp, created the Phoenix Hawk by strengthening the internal structure of the basic Stinger chassis, which enabled new mech to support heavier armor and expanded weaponry. Capabilities. Clearly superior to its lighter cousins, the Phoenix Hawk also functions as a scout. Its armor permits it to sustain combat situations, and its array of 1 heavy and 2 medium lasers will give other medium mechs like the Griffin and a Wolverine a run for their money. The Phoenix Hawk quickly became a staple of Star League recon forces. Pilots liked its ease of handling, and its speed made it well suited to raiding and scouting. The land-air mech version, constructed first in 2832, further expanded the Phoenix Hawk's mobility by allowing it to also perform aerial recon and combat. The Tech True Track targeting computer system was a highly advanced piece of equipment, giving the Phoenix Hawk's ranged fire a deadly accuracy. Since the destruction of the Star League's major computer industries, maintenance and repair of True Tracks has declined considerably, as very few techs have the specialized knowledge to service them. In many cases, the complex circuitry has simply been removed and replaced with simple line-of-sight magnification systems. The multi-channel Tech Battlecom communications gear, which is heavily shielded to protect against battlefield interference, makes the Phoenix Hawk well suited to a command and forward operations role. The Swift mech may also be outfitted with jamming and ECM gear. The PXH often serves in light regiments and scout lances, and the LAM convertible Phoenix Hawk often plays a dual role in air and land mech units. Battle history. The most powerful of the medium scout mechs, the Phoenix Hawk is often used to command recon lances. Lances led by Phoenix Hawks are kept busy probing enemy defenses and manning advanced bases. Though attrition in these units is high, Phoenix Hawk pilots are among the most experienced and skillful mech warriors. Early successor state recon units often consisted of 3 or 4 Phoenix Hawks, plus 1 or 2 Stingers, Wasps, or Locusts. Once the Phoenix Hawk's value as a command vehicle was recognized, it was reassigned to key leadership positions. Phoenix Hawk recon lances proved invaluable to both sides in one of the many minor Kurita-Davian clashes. The encounter took place on the Black Rock Badlands of the mineral-rich planet Ronel 5. The terrain of this battle was so harsh and convoluted that video and tracking gear of more conventional mechs were rendered useless. When the recon elements of Davian Avalon Hussars met their opposite number, a scouting force from Kurita's Galadon regulars, a fierce battle ensued. Where other mechs would have been helpless, the Phoenix Hawks and Wasps darted nimbly, using their jump jets to leap from ridgetop to ridgetop. The shielded battle-comm units also served the combatants well, cutting through the heavy background radiation of the area, allowing commanders to keep control over their swiftly moving mechs. With the Davian force threatening to envelop the Kurita forces, the Kurita Lamb Phoenix Hawks were able to save their embattled scouts, swooping in low, then appearing behind Davian lines in battle mech mode. The Kurita mechs surged forward, catching Davian in a vice, and forcing the Hussars to retreat with heavy losses. The Phoenix Hawk is usually no match for heavy battle mechs, such as the Crusader or Thunderbolt, but a recent clash between House Liao and Davian on Li 2 proved the exception. Conditions were similar to those on Ronel, with high rock ridges blocking the advance of the Liao Crusaders and high radiation rates crippling their communications. Noting the difficult conditions for the enemy, Davian Commander Colonel Gunnar Wilson sent in his Phoenix Hawks. The PXHs fought a hit-and-run battle, using their jump jets to clear the ridges, and striking the Crusaders from above and behind before they could react. Whenever a Crusader did manage to fire its missiles, it often crippled an attacking Phoenix Hawk, and so Davian casualties ran high. Nevertheless, this inspired use of medium mechs against heavies blunted the Liao attack and helped the eventual Davian counterstrike to drive Liao from Li 2 altogether. Variants. As a scout mech, the Phoenix Hawk has several notable variants, including the previously mentioned ECM-equipped and convertible Lamb versions. Houses Davian and Kurita have also developed their own variations of the basic Phoenix Hawk A. The Davian PXH-D replaces the basic model's twin M100 machine guns with extra heat sinks. These increase the mech's ability to dissipate heat, giving it greater endurance. The Kurita Phoenix Hawk K is an up-armored version of the basic model, replacing the M100s with a single light laser, eliminating the jump jets and increasing the number of heat sinks. Though the Dash K functions well in combat, it is not a popular model because many consider its lack of jump jets a major drawback, vitally restricting the mech's mobility. Kurita always does that. They add more armor and remove jump jets, and Davian tends to skimp on the armor for some reason. It's just kind of their way. And we do actually have an update in the 3050 Clan Invasion TRO. So let's find out what it's got to say. First, we gotta flip past all the clanner stuff. And there sure is a lot of it because they're being showcased. And then now we're going into the Inner Sphere. You can see we passed the Wasp and the Stinger. And then it should be here pretty soon. Now that we're in the more in the mediums. And here we are. And you can see that it's still got its mostly waspish
body. And the main version that's in 3050 is the 3M variant. That's the Merrick one. And here's the still shot of the spec sheet and the still shot of the story.
The Phoenix Hawk, one of the most common designs in the Inner Sphere, was an early candidate for recovered technology, with new models in full production at no less than 5 factories. The Free Worlds League model, PXH-3M, produced by Earthworks Incorporated at Keystone, takes advantage of the lightweight XL engine and endosteel structure to upgrade its weaponry. 2 extended-range lasers replaced a single normal-range large laser, and 2 medium lasers now incorporate pulse technology, and an anti-missile system replaces one of the 2 machine guns. Furthermore, cellular ammunition storage equipment protects the ammunition from internal explosion. The PXH-3D model, produced by Achernar Battle Mechs on New Avalon, is similar to the Free Worlds League mech. It lacks the case and the machine gun, replacing them with 2 heat sinks. It has much better ability to dissipate heat because of its 12 heat sinks are all double strength. Coventry Metalworks produces the PXH-3S model, which is a single Thunderbolt 12 large pulse laser in the right arm instead of the extended range large laser in each arm. It also sticks with the regular medium lasers. Lexington Limited high-grade ferrofibrous armor improves its protection, mostly on the arms and legs. Its main distinction is its myomer accelerated signal circuitry, allowing a burst of speed to surprise an enemy, or helping the mech escape when defeat seems imminent. Finally, Alshane Weapons on Jarrett and the Gordon, Kingsley, and Thorpe Enterprises plants on Saddleys are gearing up to produce the PHX-3K version for the Draconis Combine and the FRR. This version will employ new Samarkand Royal Ferrofibrous armor, but not endosteel. It will also have 12 double heat sinks. Eliminating the anti-missile system and machine gun also precludes the need for a case. Well, at least they didn't get rid of the jump jets. Most classic Kurita designs get rid of the jump jets and add extra armor and convert weapons to direct fire. There is, of course, one more key feature of the Phoenix Hawk that we have not yet covered, so we'll go over it now. The Phoenix Hawk, as we all know, or should know, also comes in a lamb configuration. Of course, it's way in the back, so we gotta flip past all these other mechs first, like even past the Atlas. Back here, Stinger, Wasp, and finally the Phoenix Hawk. The Phoenix Hawk Lamb. This was also the goal for the Crescent's Hawk Inception video game in the 80s. If you look carefully at my wings, you can see that on my air mech, you can see the Crescent Hawk logo, though I painted over them just with blue and white. Maybe I should touch it up and bring back the logo and paint it, because it kind of has a nice yellow color to it. And the Crescent's Hawks are a Steiner Merc group anyway. Overview. Prior to the fall of the Star League, many firms experimented with the LAM concept. Allied Aerospace Inc. began 2 such research projects, one involving the Shadowhawk and the other involving the Phoenix Hawk. The Shadowhawk tests proved to be a costly failure. The sheer size of the mech made it too difficult to convert. In 2830, the firm abandoned these tests to concentrate on converting the aerodynamic Phoenix Hawk. Within 2 years, the LAM version of the Phoenix Hawk was completed and sold to the Star League regular army. At nearly twice the size of the Wasp and the Stinger LAMs, already being marketed through the Inner Sphere, it was the largest LAM to be manufactured. The mech was not without faults. Its fighter landing gear did not respond well due to the bulky conversion equipment.
Even a minimal amount of damage could be fatal if it prevented the landing gear from lowering. Although some corrections were made, the problem was not resolved before the fall of the Star League. Most of the Phoenix Hawk LAMs still operative have this fault. That means Jason Youngblood's Phoenix Hawk has that fault since it was stashed in a Star League vault. Capabilities. The sheer size of the land air mech makes it stand out from those previously produced. Though manufactured in small numbers, it is still regarded as a major breakthrough in conversion technology. Unfortunately, since the fall of the Star League and the bombing of the Allied facilities, this technology has become lost. Armed with an Amsterdam 120 large laser, this model would seem to be well protected. However, 3 months before the fall of the Star League, the Amsterdam series of lasers underwent a major recall due to overheating difficulties. As almost no lasers were replaced, most Phoenix Hawk LAMs have overheating problems with this weapons system. The Phoenix Hawk LAM's support fire capabilities make it a worthy opponent in all its configurations. The Hartford S2000 targeting system can coordinate the twin medium lasers, which are Maxims, and the Sperry Browning machine guns into a number of multi-systems fire combinations. The net result is more firepower to whatever the pilot wishes. Finally, the Phoenix Hawk LAM is the only land air mech with armor that protects the actuators during the delicate conversion process. Though this protection is minimal, it's better than none at all. Battle history. Of the 5 major houses, House Merrick has the most Phoenix Hawk LAMs. This is because the Star League fell. Merrick forces discovered that a major supply depot on Borden contained the bulk of Allied Aerospace's land air mech program. Although other houses stripped down damaged LAMs to support functional ones, the Free Worlds League has its own storehouse of supplies. Until recently, LAMs were rarely concentrated into any significant force. However, the actions of a single Phoenix Hawk LAM may provide some idea of this mech's potential. In 2938, Lieutenant Lisa Dobbins of House Merrick took her Phoenix Hawk LAM into orbit over Fletcher, where House Liao was making some minor advances. While in the fighter mode, she signaled that her fighter was out of fuel and near approaching dropships of House Liao. In reality, this was just a ruse to fool the Liao attackers. Several Liao aerospace fighters took her in tow as she claimed the right of surrender. Then, much to their surprise, her fighter converted to a battle mech as if it was about to enter the dropship. Keeping under the fire elevations of the ship, she damaged the vessel's engine systems at point-blank range. Liao fighters dove on her, but they tore up more of the dropship than the LAM. She was the first mech warrior attributed with taking out a dropship single-handedly. She out-Capellaned the Capellans. I didn't even think that was possible. But then again, Justin Allard did it, but he was half Capellan. Okay, enough with Capellans. Let's get back to the story. Several Phoenix Hawk LAMs owned by House Davian took part in a raid on the Liao world of Tybalt during the summer of 2977. Their maneuverability and firepower made them prime recon units. They raided the areas behind the enemy forces, and when Liao forces engaged them, they flew away. In the battles for the Turland Highlands of Tybalt, this series of LAM showed its worth as both air support and battlefield fighter. In a bold move against the Steiner-held world of Suk, House Kurita sent several Phoenix Hawk LAMs to raid the planet. Unfortunately for the Draconis Combine, the defenders were armed with weaponry that had long-distance capabilities. The LAMs were wiped out almost to the last mech. This greatly reduced the number of Phoenix Hawk LAMs within the Draconis Combine, but House Steiner gained a treasure chest of new replacement for parts for their few LAMs. Variants. The only known variant of this mech is a Merrick version that replaces the large laser with the Holly LRM. The machine gun systems have also been removed. In case you missed the specs in the flip, and here's the mech spec sheets. And finally, here's the storyboard. The Phoenix Hawk, of course, is one of the original mechs of Battletech, predating Battletech even being called Battletech, and thus you can find it on the back of the Battle Droids box. And it is effectively just a Wasp. It even has the same paint job with some extra rocket packs and armor packs. Well, the Phoenix Hawk does have a lot of variants, so let's cover the crowdsourced versions that are found on Sarna. The PXH-1 is what you would consider the standard Phoenix Hawk, the 3025 era one that you start with. The PHX HK2 is the one that you would find in the Crescent Hawk's Inception as the reward. It's 50 tons instead of 45 tons, but that's because it's a LAM and converts into an Aerotech or an Airmech. PXH-1B is a Star League Royal variant with ER PPCs, ER large lasers, Guardian, a whole bunch of other goodies. The PXH-1BC is a early Clan Invasion variant that is almost like a reconstruction of the 1B, but has an arc launcher. The PXH-1C is another Star League era variant, except it has a snub-nose PPC. The PXH-1D is a low-tech Davian variant. PXH-1K is the low-tech Kurita variant, all lasers direct fire. And not unsurprisingly, as a Kurita variant, no jump jets but more armor. The 1KK is a slightly higher tech Star League era Kurita variant that has an ER large laser. It also has 2 medium pulse lasers and double heat sinks, but just the standard 8 tons of armor. The 2K variant has an ER large laser, a bunch of medium lasers, and 2 machine guns, but it still has jump otherwise. The 3D is a Davian pre-Clan Invasion upgrade. Just has the ER large lasers and medium pulse lasers, no ammo. The 3M is somewhat similar to the 3D. It has an AMS and a machine gun though, as well as 2 MP lasers and ER large lasers and jump jets. The 3S, the Steiner variant, is a large pulse laser, 2 medium lasers, an AMS, and 2 machine guns. It also has double heat sinks, of course. The 6D is a FedCom Civil War era variant with an ER PPC and 4 ER medium lasers and 10 double heat sinks. It has, of course, jump and 10 tons of armor. The 7S is the Steiner FedCom Civil War variant. It's got 10 double heat sinks, a large pulse laser, 2 medium lasers, and a small laser, 9 tons of armor. The KC is an early Clan Invasion variant that's got medium pulse lasers. It's also got ultra auto cannon 2s and machine guns. Note this is a Clan equipment variant. In the book Ideal War, you have the Knights of the Inner Sphere and House Merrick are prominently described. And in it, Sir Paul Masters, the lead knight of the Knights of the Inner Sphere, drives a Phoenix Hawk that he's customized. Now, Ideal War is one of the few books that actually discusses House Merrick, although it's in the early Clan Invasion era, so you don't really get much before then, but still, it's gives you some insight into how House Merrick works. If I remember, the book had him have SSRM2s, but on Sarna it lists SRM4s and mentions that the book had SSRM2s. He also definitely had an AMS, and definitely had a machine gun, because he uses the machine gun to destroy some Davy Crockett tactical nuke vehicles. So how do these units all do in the battle sims? Well, I've got them all calculated out. So, I mean, if you take a look at the absolute win rates, not unsurprisingly, the 6D, that is the highest tech, and also the KC are among the best. But the 1B Star League variant was pretty good too. So the 1C, the 1KK, and the 2K, some of like the higher tech primitive Star League era mechs were also pretty good because of course they had higher tech components. But if you go against assault mechs, the 6D really stands out. It actually won 38% of its battles against assault mechs, whereas the 1 only won 8%. That's not the whole story. I mean, the 1, the weakest version is only 1041 battle value, whereas the 6D is over 1600 battle value. So in order to be fair, you have to do a wins per kilobattle value 2 adjustment. And I consider anything at 0.4 or above as pretty good. And it turns out, when you normalize for battle value, the 1KK and the 2K are pretty damn good. And the 6D, which has the highest absolute win rate, is not quite as good just because it costs so much. However, the Phoenix Hawk, overall, almost all versions of it are hovering in the 0.4-ish wins per kilobattle value range, which means it's a good mech. The Phoenix Hawk, the Stinger, the Wasp, the Crusader, they're all the same mech, just with slightly different armor and slightly different weapons packs from Macross. And for the same reason, you can find various model kits, including this Robotech Changers, which has nothing to do with Robotech, the TV show, which was the ripoff of Macross. So this is here is the Macross model, the Super Valkyrie. It's, again, just a Valkyrie, except with super extras. That rounds out the Phoenix Hawk, one of the favorite mechs of many a player, both tabletop and video game. I always liked it when I got the Phoenix Hawk, even in the old MechWarrior 1.